Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. You're right. You're sounding a little sleepy, a little drowsy. Is that just me?
What's up?
You sounding a little drowsy.
Oh, no, I'm fine. My voice might be a little shot.
Okay. Out clubbing all weekend? No, that's not your thing. Just kidding.
Nah.
All right, guys. Let's crack on into it. So Monday morning here. Had a little bit of a fail breakdown last night. Not as major or significant as the ones we have been having. Came a little bit later in the evening. Just bringing the chart in here. Um, right around 8:45 last night. I didn't take that one personally. I was kind of off the screen by then with family stuff. It was sort of a slow sell off the open, I would say. The one thing I would mention, just because it's been happening quite a few times recently, was the opening price happening right at the failed breakdown level, corresponding to that, and then we recover both the open and that significant low, which in this case was the shelf at 71.85. So some nice correlation there to trade around. That's happened several times recently. I think Adams highlighted it in some of his tweets. So yeah, just pay attention to that. An interesting correlation to keep tabs of on Sunday opens. Anything else you wanted to add to that one? We had some nice kind of clear type 1 acceptance where we lifted to about 71.82, sold off 8 points from there. So 71.82, 3 points beneath the level, but that's close enough to factor that in as acceptance, and then pushed up nicely with some decent momentum. Anything else from your perspective? I know you traded it, right, Mike?
Yeah, so we definitely had some decent type 1 acceptance. I still ended up taking this above the danger zone, more or less just because I wanted to make sure that we had enough momentum kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
Because once we cleared 90, which is roughly 5 points from that shelf, we really started kind of pushing quite fast. I mean, this was a pretty fast trim for me in terms of I was able to enter just above 90 at like 92 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to take profits like pretty fast. So that's just one of the reasons, just because the timing and price was kind of slow, so I didn't want to enter right above 85 and then it just not go anywhere. So just one of those situations where I wanted to make sure that we had a little bit of volatility.
Nice. Cool. Honestly, for me, if I had been taking it, I don't think I would have waited for the danger zone on that one, just with it, yeah, being a 15-point flush, decent bit of an acceptance, but like Adam says, no wrong way to play it, at least when it works out, that is. Um, so just briefly on the context here, we are above the range that we set last week from 70.85 to 71.80. So we are just about holding this breakout for the moment, but if we do dip beneath that 71.80, and then the Sunday open low at 71.71, then yeah, we are falling back into the range, and that's the kind of a failed breakout of that range at that point. So just be mindful of that. Obviously, the context here is pretty poor. The setups are going to be lower quality, but doesn't mean we can't get good level to level moves. So onto the trade plan for today. Still, this 71.80 to 85 sort of zone has been tested quite heavily now. I think Adam tweeted that it's weak. First level down for me is going to be the Sunday open low 71.71. So that wasn't on the watch list from the newsletter, but obviously a decent low there. We've pushed 40 points off that in the evening session, so significant low that we can trade around, and it gives us something in this sort of 35 point range. Beneath the 71.80, there really wasn't a huge amount to work with there. So that's the first level I'm watching at 71. There are kind of couple of stacked lows here. You just need to be mindful of. So you probably want to be trimming into this into 71.80 for sure on that one. What are your thoughts on 71.71? Question
Yeah.
from Waz here. Would you take 71 FBD low or wait for 80 to recover? So just before mine takes over, for me, I would take 71 and try and trim into 80. But what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, so a lot of times for me when you have these lows or shelves like close together, a little bit of it depends on how it plays out. So for example, if you get good acceptance of 71, and you're able to take the long just like a couple of points above it and get a trim into 80, then that works really well. Vice versa, if 71, if there's no acceptance and you have to take non-acceptance protocol and you're already now at say 77, 78, it starts going a couple points above, then at that point, it's going to be hard to play that where there isn't much room into the next level. So for me, a lot of it depends on just in real time, is there acceptance on the level? Am I able to take it close to the level? Or if it's not and I have to take NAP on it, is it not going to be enough room? And at that point, I'm just better off waiting for both to clear. So for me, it really depends on how it sets up.
Yeah, great point there. So, like, if it's a very shallow flush, a point or two less, and then you've got to play NAP on it, you're getting in sort of 76 at the best, maybe a 77, very close to 80. So, probably want to wait for those upper levels to recover there. And then it does get a little bit complex with the London low here is at 82 roughly. What is that? 81.50. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first
Yeah.
level to watch to see how it.
In terms of like the newsletter giving you a really good, higher quality entry, and keep in mind now, like, let's say if you are trying to follow like Adam to a T, he's already taken the trade most likely last night. So, high chances are he may just wait for, maybe the next newsletter low down, which would be that 47 spot.
Yeah, because he's got his runner under 71 at least, and he may even have that further down because he's holding runners from 300 points lower or something, right? I don't actually haven't really been keeping up with the state of his runners, but sometimes he'll do that. He'll compensate for the other trades that are still active for him lower down. 70, 85 being the most recent significant one. So yeah, beneath 71, there's the 47 level, which is really RTH low from Friday. So pretty clear level to trade a failed breakdown of there. And then beneath that, we're still kind of in the middle of the range, 71.21. So things could get a little bit more choppy in this range. And then the big one would be revisiting the bottom of the range here at 70.80, which is the flush low from Thursday. So obviously be looking for a pretty major sell, the likes of which we haven't really seen all too often in recent weeks. So just real quick on kind of headline stuff, not a huge amount today, but it is a big week overall for earnings and significant news events. So it's FOMC and I think CPI later in the week, and pretty major earnings starting tomorrow, and then with some of the big tech companies Wednesday and Thursday. So just be mindful of that. It may be a slightly slower, beginning of the week as we work up to those major volatility events, and obviously there's the headline risk as ever in the background. Ongoing talks, haven't really kept up with that, what the latest is, but do you have any knowledge of what's going on there with the talks in Pakistan, Mike? Are they talking today or
No,
later in the week?
I
Or?
I have no clue, to be honest. I haven't looked over the weekend of what's up for this week.
Okay. Well, it'll be pretty clear when something comes out because I the market will start going crazy. So.
Haywire.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just on a side note, like it'll be interesting to see how much these news events and earnings kind of play a role just because of recently it seems like all the market has cared about has just been the war news, and so maybe for some of these things it's not as volatile, but we'll see. Hopefully we have a good overall week of two-way action. I feel like last week was pretty solid in that sense, right? It was just classic mode 2 trading. So like I said, overall big picture for the week will be our bull's going to try to push out of this range that we've now developed, essentially this 100-point range, and try to break out of it, or is it going to kind of put it in another trap above, a look above and fail,
Mm-hmm.
or a failed breakout, and then we kind of continue trading in between, and really just maturing the flag out even more. So that'll kind of be the big overall kind of picture for the week, and we'll see how it plays out throughout the week.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, 3 minutes to the open here. So let's see. For me personally, I'm flat, so I'm hoping for a little bit of flush, at least down to 71. If not, you guys enjoy your runners, and we'll catch you in the chat. All right, bye for now. Thanks, everyone.